Well, it's better late than never, right? So it's Lick Friday on a Saturday, but you know, I was busy yesterday. I was building a roof thing, which took a lot of time, and to be honest, I'd run out of time and I didn't get Lick Friday done. Shame on me, but I managed to build what I needed to build, so there you go. Right, so this week's lick is quite an epic journey. You've got a lot of hammer-ons, a lot of pull-offs, you've got a lot of slides, and there's a few bends in a short 4-bar sequence. So if you're technique shy, then you're going to need to practice that technique with it. So there's a lot to learn from this, just as like each individual bar you could take as an individual lick, so put it that way. So 4 licks in one in many ways, but here is the lick. There we go. So if you did like that, please do consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that bell button for the future notifications, and visiting the website where you can find links to these t-shirts as well. Lick Friday, these are actually baseball shirts, but there you go. There's mugs, there's other stuff, and yeah, just things that you would find. The tab on that website, as I said, and the link to the Patreon site where you can find the jamming track for this video. It's all linked below anyway, so just go down there instead of going to the website. You could go to both. Anyway, ramble. Let's get on with a breakdown. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back in just a sec. There's a lot of technique within this one, so you're going to need to just scan through the tab if you can, which is on the website, dansguitar.com. And you'll see that, like in bar 2, there's slides and blues curls, and then slides and hammer-ons and pull-offs and a bend. So there's a lot within one bar in a short space of time. But you're starting with the 8th fret on the 2nd string and the 7th fret on the 3rd string, and you're only going to bend that D note, the 7th fret on the 3rd string. So and then I pull off to the 5 on the 3rd string, keeping the 8 firmly planted down. So you bend up, let it down, and then pull off from that 3rd finger to your 1st finger on that 3rd string. Then the next part, you've got your palm mute, where you're going from the A note to the G, so that's 7 and 5 on the D string, into another double stop with a slight blues curl on that if you can. You don't need to, but put it on if you want to, which is basically 7-5 on the D string, and then 2 5s, 1st finger doing the whole thing on that 3rd string and 2nd string, and then back to a 7-5-7 with a bit of vibrato on that last note of the bar. So that's bar 1. Now bar 2, you're sliding in from 7 to 9 on the 3rd string, and then hammering on from 8 to 10 on that 2nd string, followed by a blues curl on the 1st string, which is the 8th fret. Then it's 10-8 pull off on the 2nd string. Okay, so you've got nice lick, fairly sort of Jimmy Page-esque actually. And then you're sliding from 3rd finger up from the 10th fret to the 13 on that 2nd string. Okay, this is all 16th notes until that 32nd note that comes in a second, but you've got 10, 13, 10 on the 1st string, hammering on to the 12, quickly pulling off back to the 10, like that, and then a bend on that 13th fret 2nd string. Put vibrato on if you want to, doesn't need to be there, but just chuck it in if you want a bit of flavour. Okay, so that bar should be like, obviously without the pinched harmonic on there, sounds good, but whatever. Okay, then we've got quite a nice sort of, I guess you would say, hair metal run on this one, where you're sliding into the 13 on that 2nd string, whilst that's, you're kind of coming off the note as you go to the next one. But this let me play the bar for you anyway. So you got, that's the whole bar on that one. So there's lots of slides, and yeah, just slides in this one actually. So sliding into the 13, 2nd string, pick the 15, back to the 13 on that 2nd string, so the 15 was on the 1st string, And then you slide that down to the 10, and then this time you pick the 12 on the first string, back to the 10 on the second, slide it to the 8, and then you pick the 10 on the first string, back to the 8 on the second string, and then it's 8, 7 slide on the first string using the same finger you played with the second string 8th fret. If you caught that, great. Like that, simple as. And then you're coming down, second finger on the 8th fret of the second string, third finger 9th fret the third string, first finger on the 7 on that third string, sliding that down to the 5. So you end up with this nice run anyway, if you can get that. And then you're finishing with a sextuplet on the blues scale. I like these anyway. You can, so you're hammering on basically 5, 7 and 8. This is kind of Nuno Bettencourt area now. And then you've got the 5th fret on the second string, back to the 8th fret for a pull off section of that 8, 7, 5. So that's just a blues scale going. Okay, then you're mixing it back into 16th notes. And then there's a pause, a rest. I don't know why I called it a pause, but so let me go through that again quickly. So you got one, basically like that. So that's the blues scale run, followed by the 7 on the D string, with your 7 on the G, but this time after that you've got a 16th note rest. So like that. Before you go to the 5, and then it's 7, 5, 7 with vibrato to finish with, and that is your lick. I think I should try and play it slow for you, shouldn't I? Let's do it. Right, so I usually fuck these up, but there you go. Oh, shouldn't swear. Whatever. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That was it. I think I got through that all right then. Right, back to me. There we go. Right, so it's another epic lick, and hopefully you've made it to the end of the video. If you did, thanks very much. And thanks to all my patrons that are currently with me. If you want to become a patron and download this track plus another, must be about 40 tracks by now, for $5 a month, then please do so. If you are going to become a patron as well, I must say this, Apple have started doing this thing where if you subscribe to Patreon from their app, then I take 30% hit and give it to Apple. Why? What's that all about? So if you're going to download Patreon and subscribe to one of my tier systems, do it on the desktop. That way I don't lose any money, so that would be helpful. Thanks very much, Apple, right? You know. Anyways, there we go. It's straightforward lick in many ways, but if you can take it slowly and even, then it makes sense and it makes your life a lot easier. So please do subscribe to the channel, hit that bell button, visit the shop for loads of t-shirts and stuff like that. And I think that's all I need to say, apart from have a wonderful what's left of the weekend, because this Friday's not really Friday, it's Saturday. And I shall see you next week. See you in 6 days. Nice one. Laters.